What did you think of like films as a child? Like, what was your opinion on them?
Oh, wow. When I was a kid, I thought they were pretty boring unless they were animated.
There is like a gap in my head of movies that I watched when I was young with my family and movies that I watched starting in like high school.
My mom and I were sort of like a film family, so she would just bring me like stacks of movies.
And for me, I like the spectacle. Didn't really matter too much about the story.
I would see like great friends. I would see people trying really hard to get their goals.
All these kind of cheesy.
I liked Digimon because they were weird anthropomorphic animal people.
A lot of cartoons, a lot of Disney.
Star Wars.
A lot of anime and like cartoons.
The Transformers movie, the 1986 one that Orson Welles is in.
I watched Spirited Away when I was 10. And it was terrifying and the coolest thing I had ever seen.
Synecdoche, New York was sort of that moment when I realized how much a movie could say.
My Spanish teacher in high school, he's the first person who told me, like, you don't follow the actor, you follow the director.
I joined a book club and we watched the movie adaptations of the books that we read after we read them. And the first book we watched was Clockwork Orange.
If there was one movie to point to as the movie that got me to like think about movies, it would be The Thin Red. Well, there'd be two. There'd be The Thin Red Line and A Clockwork Orange.
I wasn't put off by it. I thought it was really cool, and I was like, movies are a little more complicated than maybe I used to think they were.
It was just the first movie where I was really supposed to sit and think the entire time I was watching it, where I actually wanted to sit and think the entire time I was watching it. It proved to me that there was worth in those sit and think movies.
When I was 12 and I saw Donnie Darko for the first time, that was a sort of weird moment for me.
2 Octobers ago, I watched 31 horror movies in 35 days. I tried 31 and 31. I couldn't do it. But I did 31 and 35. And then I just kept watching them. It didn't stop after the 31. I was not sated. And I felt like at that point, I had changed.
I can't just be like, I was 12 and I saw Donnie Darko and it changed my life. It didn't change my life, but it did mark a point that I was starting to think about movies in a different way.
Do you think it's possible for a movie to change your worldview or change the way you think?
Yeah.
In terms of like actual films, I don't think the point has ever been to change people.
Help you somehow. I think that's the goal.
It's a platform to express oneself.
I don't think that there is a greater purpose to film as an entire way of making, because I think there are tons of people who make films with tons of different agendas.
I think movies are really great for helping you sympathize or empathize with people in different life situations than you, and in just different like perspectives.
I think relating to a character on screen gives you kind of an understanding of yourself.
What do you think makes like a movie good in your opinion?
I mean that's kind of hard to answer, but
Emotional connection?
If I like it, it's good.
The struggle.
It's just a question of whether or not you think that the thing you're watching like affirms the goodness of the fucking universe or some shit.
obviously what makes a movie successful is that it achieves what it sets out to do. And that varies so much between movies and genres and creators. So there's not really a cookie cutter answer.
No, the best thing a movie can do is get you to feel something very profound. That's the best thing, but that's the best thing anything can do. The feeling of profundity is the most important thing in the world, and if a movie can make you feel that way, amazing.
Do you think it's possible to find, like, to take a movie and go, this is the profound point that changed my life?
I think maybe for some people. I don't think I have those.
I would not say. I think most people that say a movie has changed their life are lying, or they misunderstand.
Because I don't think that any point in my life was defined by one thing. I can look back at things and be like, oh, well, during this time in my life where I was like starting to think about this, and this, or like during this point in my life where I was like really starting to focus or think about these things a lot. I was watching these movies and I was reading these books, and like, it's always an era, not a point.
There's this idea that movies have this transformative, that the narrative of a film is so important and powerful that it'll change the way you feel or think about something, but it doesn't do that. It's really not supposed to.
The people who are the most interested in films are probably people who have experiences already.
Do you think it's possible for like a film to fulfill you?
Temporarily. I don't know if a movie can really. I have never like seen a movie and then been like, I am satisfied, and just stop, you know.
I don't think you can be fulfilled by a film. I think you can be inspired to seek fulfillment.
The most deep, profound thing you're gonna learn from a movie, you're gonna learn by watching a deep or profound movie. Don't watch a documentary about it. I mean, unless the documentary is really deep or profound, like it's a Werner Herzog one or something. But yeah, that's kind of the answer, I think.